And here with us today to exemplify why that data is the necessary connection for change are 6 stories from each of the 4 counties. Listen as these stories highlight ways to create more health equity across race, gender, age, and class, for everyone seeking a greater sense of well-being and overall health. Hear how these stories bring together new partnerships and define best practices that challenge social determinants of health. Each story has 10 minutes. Please use your program guide to help inform connections that I'm sure you're going to want to make. They start on page 8. And so first up to speak to us about Age Friendly is Jennifer Kimball. Thank you, Jennifer.
Hello. Thanks for having me come talk about Age Friendly Berkshires. My name is Jennifer Kimball. I'm a public health planner at the Berkshire Regional Planning Commission, and I am giving this presentation on behalf of Laura Kittros, the manager of the Public Health Program, and Bobby Orsi, Director of Community Relations for Homestead Senior Care, 2 of the major players in Age Friendly Berkshires who could not be here today. You may or may not know that the United States is rapidly aging. The United States is undergoing an unprecedented aging of the population. Baby boomers began turning 65 in 2011, and every day for the next 20 years, 10,000 Americans will celebrate their 65th birthday. And already 1 in 3 Americans is aged 50 or older, and by 2030, 1 in 5 will be over the age of 65. In Berkshire County, this shift is happening sooner and faster than the other parts of the state and the country. So with the realization that Berkshire County was aging faster than the rest of the state and the rest of the country, a few people, including Bobby Orsi, Community Relations Manager at Homestead Senior Care, and the directors of several of the local councils on aging, began informally talking about the best approach to this demographic shift in Berkshire County. A general meeting of all the stakeholders was held in early 2014, and task force members began to be recruited one by one from various sectors in the community. Berkshire Regional Planning Commission was brought in mid-2014. In late 2014, the first task force meeting was held, and the decision was made to pursue official age-friendly designation from AARP, who administers the Age Friendly Communities program in the United States. And I will now figure out how to do the slides here. Next, left or right? Oh, there. All right. What is an age-friendly community? Well, that's a very good question. An age-friendly community is actually a World Health Organization program administered in the United States by AARP. An age-friendly community enables people of all ages, that's young and old, to actively participate in community activities and treats everyone with respect regardless of their age. It is a place that makes it easy for older people to stay connected to people that are important to them, and it helps people stay healthy and active even at the oldest ages while providing appropriate support to those who can no longer look after themselves. Age-friendly communities become great places for all ages by adopting features such as safe, walkable streets, better housing and transportation options, access to key services, and opportunities for residents to participate in community activities. Well-designed, livable communities promote health and sustain economic growth, and they make for happier, healthier residents of all ages. In Massachusetts, the median age is 39. In the United States, it's 37. In Berkshire County, it is 44. So, I'm having trouble advancing, so just bear with me here. Sorry. I might need help. It's not responding. I wanted to go over some of the, can you get it to move? Am I pressing the right thing?
Yeah, so you just want to hit this button.
Okay, that's what I thought.
If you see that other list pop up, just hit escape.
This one. Okay. So this is a population chart for you to kind of see how Berkshire County is shifting. The population over 65 is growing in numbers as well as percentages. In 2010 in Berkshire County, less than 20% were aged 65 and older, and 20% or more is the blue. When you look at 2020, you see how that demographic shift has changed quite a bit. We have a reduction in population, but we also have a very large increase. All those blue areas, 20% or more of the population is 65 and older. And the North Adams one way up there is probably due to the fact that we have a college in that area. The over 50 population is increasing as well. You'll see in 2010, the population of 50 and older, you'll see in blue, 60% or greater in red. You see the profound change by 2030 in Berkshire County. So we have a vast majority of people 65 and older by 2030. So the other important data to note, for the first time in history, more people will be over 65 than under 18. In the United States, this shift will happen in the year 2030. In Berkshire County, this has already happened. It happened in 2011, and this shift appears to be permanent. So, it's not doing it again, sorry. Okay. No, it just did. It just did. It's just moving a little bit slowly. So some of the data that we also found out was not only was the population getting older, but the Tufts Foundation, Massachusetts Healthy Aging Collaborative, and other data showed, collected by Berkshire Regional Planning and other partners, that many of our seniors were living alone, struggling with multiple chronic diseases or disabilities, were of low income, and lacked access to transportation. On the other hand, data showed a substantial population of more affluent and educated retirees, many of whom have moved to the Berkshires later in life. So you have a lot of different ends of the spectrum there. If you think about it, if you travel west and you go over the border, welcome to the Berkshires, America's premier cultural resort. Well, therein you have the issues of rural poverty and isolation, but also a large affluent population. And I'm going. Berkshire County needs to be age-friendly for everyone, and in a large geographical area with a variety of people with a variety of needs, that is very difficult. We are over 950 square miles. It can take close to 2 hours to drive from one end to the other. We have one major hospital system. We are in the far west. We are isolated from many of the media resources in Massachusetts. In fact, our news comes from Albany, so we are very disconnected around Massachusetts politics. The majority of our municipalities have less than 2,500 people, so they can be very understaffed or resource poor. And as I said before, public transportation is limited. The Age Friendly Berkshires Task Force formed in late 2014, and you can see a really broad list of partners that are involved in the Berkshire County group. And one of the first things they did was to get some data was to do a survey, which was about 50 questions long, and it asked a variety of questions around, around livability, economics, jobs. And we also had aging in place forums, public events that had over 150 participants. I should mention that our survey had about 2,500 responses, and for in an area that has a population of 128,000, that's fairly significant. And in these structure forums, we asked for public feedback and on challenges and potential solutions to the problems. And that whole report is available at berkshireplanning.org. One of the things that came out of the Aging in Place forums was a booklet to help seniors. Overwhelmingly, 98% of the seniors in Berkshire County wanted to stay in their home as they age. So one of the things that came out of it was an Aging in Place workbook that is also available online and actually goes through on YouTube as well, that talks people through conducting a home audit, identifying renovation options, selecting a contractor, and reviewing resources. And I'm going to skip to our action plan because that's where we are right now. We have just recently hired 8 leaders representing the 8 domains of livability, which are transportation, housing, social participation, respect and social inclusion, civil participation and employment, communication and information, community support and health services, and outdoor spaces and buildings. And these 8 leaders will be coming do a draft plan for action plans for these different domains, and the public comment process will be completed in early winter with an action plan expected in March of 2017. And if you have any more questions, as I said before, Laura Kritteros and Bobby Orsi would be happy to answer your questions, and I have their cards with me here if you want to seek me out afterwards. So thank you.